Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Festival of Good Business. I am Ben Smock, Director of Development with Canopy, and we are kicking off the Festival of Good Business this morning with Charles Booker, the Kentucky State Representative for the 43rd District, and also the founder of Hood to the Holler. So we will bring Charles on. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be with you, Ben.
It's good to be with you. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. This is a good day to support organizations doing good work.
It is. So today is Good Day, and Canopy is trying to raise $10,000, which will be very helpful as we launch the Canopy certified program. And we are featuring wonderful guest speakers throughout the day. And we have matching partners from Interapt and Wilson and Muir Bank. We have restaurants doing percentage of sale campaigns, Biscuit Belly and Galaxy. And we are very excited to speak with you this morning. So Charles, give us background on you.
Yeah.
You are representing our state, and you are also the founder of an incredible new organization, Hood to the Holler. So please share with us.
Happy to do it. And first of all, I want to say how much I appreciate you all and the team at Canopy, the work that you provide, the space that you serve in helping to lift up good business and how to help folks not only expand in their business ventures and economically, but invest in our community, which means that we all thrive. I'm proud to be connected to that work. And you said a lot of what I do. One other thing you didn't mention is that I am the dad assistant for two students, a seventh grader and a preschooler, who are on the other side of my camera right now doing their NTI work. I'm their assistant, so I just carry the bags and make sure everything's functioning for them. But man, I'm really excited to speak with you. I'm really excited to share a little bit about Hood to the Holler, and I just want to say to everyone that's watching, I'm honored to represent you. I am state representative for the 43rd District, which includes a lot of the west end of Louisville, Portland neighborhood. So Canopy is in the 43rd District, and I'm proud of that. Goes through downtown Louisville all the way out to Indian Hill, so it's a broad swath of the community, very diverse intersections represented. But even if you aren't in the 43rd District, I represent you, and it is the privilege of my lifetime, short of being a dad, to do it. Lifelong Louisville, all my family's from Louisville, and we've been connected to the fight for lifting our city up and make sure our future is everything we deserve. Really for generations. My granddad fought for desegregation here in the city, and I'm from the West End, so we've all seen a lot of difficult times, a lot of challenges that inspire me to be a leader now. Growing up in poverty and having to ration my insulin as a type 1 diabetic, and seeing my mom work minimum wage, working multiple jobs myself to take care of the family. All of these things really shape my lens on how we could invest in people, we can invest in our communities, and that we can build the types of coalitions that will make sure that my children aren't going through the same struggles that I've had to grow up through and that my parents went through and my grandparents, that we can ultimately end poverty and that we can root up inequity. And so that is what fuels me, man. I've worked in every level of government, local, state, and federal. Of course, I'm the youngest Black state legislator in Kentucky since the first one, which looks like it less and less now because I'm getting grays in my beard and everything. But this work is worth it. And I launched Hood to the Holler really out of a fact of saying thank you and to say I see you. To all the people in Kentucky that stood up this year. I ran a campaign for U.S. Senate, rooted on the idea that we could come together as Kentuckians, as family, and that we could end poverty, that we could uproot racism, that we can make sure people aren't rationing insulin or losing their homes, that we can support local business, that we can support our local economy and make sure communities are thriving all over Kentucky, from the hood where I'm from to the hollers in Appalachia and everywhere in between. And the response was so powerful Kentuckians are ready for the type of vision that Canopy is leading. And Hood to the Holler was my way of saying that we're in this fight together. And although the primary didn't go in my favor, this work does not stop. So we launched the organization and called it Hood to the Holler. It was a rallying cry. You may have heard across Kentucky say, from the hood to the holler. We were declaring our unity as Kentuckians, man. And it feels so good. I'm so proud to be a part of this work because we need it. The short that I'll say, then, any questions you have for me, you can give me the hard ones too. Hood to the Holler for me is a way of helping to build capacity for folks to be the leaders in our own communities, to go to the forgotten places where people get ignored, talked about, but never listened to, and saying, here's how we activate our own power. People that are rising up now to demonstrate and to call for justice in protest, pushing for change. How do we turn that passion into sustained progress? We need work like that. And a lot of developments happen in our community, especially in underserved communities, where they will come into an area and have the best of intentions. We're going to help these struggling communities. We're going to do these things. All of this is great. The people that are in those communities are not at the table. A lot of times they're not in the room. We have to change that. So Hood to the Holler is training citizen lobbyists, training relational organizers, training and developing folks to run for office, boards, and commissions, and doing thought leadership, coalition building work around ending poverty. And one of the big things we're doing right now to break down barriers to democracy so that you can even have a voice to begin with, we're registering 50,000 Kentuckians this month, focusing on folks who were formerly incarcerated, because we know that everyone deserves a second chance. And when you complete your sentence, you should be able to get back on your feet as a full, gainful, contributing citizen. And so we're telling that story about how disenfranchisement connects to poverty and how we want to end that. And I'm fired up to do this work, man, and honored to connect with you all in the fight.
Absolutely. Thank you, Charles. And, I personally am inspired by your leadership. And I know many of us, the team at Canopy, a lot of us in Louisville and throughout the state, inspired by what you're doing, not only in the political realm, but also with Hood to the Holler. And so thank you for leading this important work and for your kind words about Canopy. I know you're a true friend to us, and there's a lot of alignment with what you're working on with Hood to the Holler and what Canopy is trying to focus on. And really, part of the genesis of Canopy was in relation to some of the national metrics that Kentucky can improve upon, right? Whether it's education, long-term fiscal stability, mental health. There are so many ways in which we can leverage the power of business, of good business, to supplement work being done at nonprofit organizations and within government, and to really start to chip away to make Kentucky be seen as this premier, conscious, thoughtful place. And so a couple questions for you. First of all, you're so intertwined with our work. What is your definition of good business? Canopy's vision to make Kentucky first in good business. What is your definition of good business?
So I'll try to make this a little succinct and compact. Good business to me is the process and the reality of providing goods and services in a way that not only invests in the community, but uplifts everyone around us. So it's a matter of saying that business is a part of the universe of ending poverty. And not only can you make money by doing good business, by investing in prioritizing people in your work, but you can also uplift the folks around you. And so, I think you all are helping to redefine, not redefine, better define and provide clarity for what it means to be a successful business that is not exploiting and extracting from the community and from people, but investing in and uplifting. And when they do that, they're more sustainable as well. And so thank you all again for helping to pave the way in that.
Absolutely. That's well said. We might quote you on that, but really, I think you're spot on. I think, to be additive as it pertains to, economic development and social and environmental challenges that we see, and that's absolutely possible. There's there's no reason why businesses can't be additive in many ways, for all those reasons. And you're right, it does lead to sustainability in business practices, and that's what we want. We want that type of conscious growth throughout the state. And Charles, I know much of your work is focused on racial justice, and so that has been something Canopy has focused on over the last few months, and is a core competency, is core to our hearts as team members and as our organization and within the Canopy certified program. So what are your thoughts on how businesses can be thoughtful, can be action oriented as it pertains to racial justice?
That is a critical question, and it's central to a lot of the tension and the pain and the challenges we're facing in our city. We have to grapple with these deep-rooted conversations, and we have to collectively, as human beings, as Louisvillians, as Kentuckians, grapple with the fact that racism is structural. And so in the business community, all right, we're working through the Wi-Fi stuff on my end too.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. We had a little hiccup on our end. And I think that you're right, really leaning on the business community to be at the forefront of, making important strides, taking action, being very clear in how we can support, being clear in the support of the healing that needs to happen and the progression that needs to be part of moving forward, so I'm curious, Charles, what is your vision for Kentucky as it pertains to your work with Hood to the Holler, and how it kind of relates to Canopy's vision?
Well, and so I want to put a bow on my thought there, as far as racial justice, because I don't want to disrespect that question. To me, it is in the business community being mindful of the built environment and the history around the business, and how that business can play a part in being accountable to that history. That includes hiring practices, training, investment in the neighborhood, and also an intentionality around the soft skill development that can help break down these generational barriers that have blocked people out, and elevating the conversations, having the hard conversations, and showing a sense of connectedness to the responsibility of healing. We all have to show up that way. Every avenue, every sector of our lives, we got to show up that way, and the business community has to as well. And to your question about what does a future look like? What does a brighter community look like, especially with the Canopies of the world and the Hoods to the Hollers of the world involved? To me, it would represent a Kentucky where everyone feels like their voice matters, and that they are accounted for, and they have pathways to live gainful lives. They can be safe and healthy on every street in our city, in every neighborhood, and that no one ever has to worry about how they keep a roof over their head and afford their prescription and feed their family. In a place that is as brilliant as Louisville, a place as brilliant as Kentucky, we can meet those challenges if we all feel connected to them and we do our part.
Absolutely. I think the connectivity, that we see in Louisville, I think is seen throughout the state. It tends to be small towns, small world, and we do have that connection to one another. And I think you're exactly right to think of it in those terms and to be supportive of each other. Charles, if you'll bear with me for a moment, I am going to interject with a trivia question. Now, this is for our audience. Part of this day is having a lot of fun, and thanks to our friends at Galaxy, and thanks to our friends at Lou City and Racing City FC, we have trivia questions and associated prizes. So I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the stream, so bear with me for a moment. Our first question, for those in the audience, the first one to put the comment into the chat box will be the proud recipient of some Lou City and Racing City FC swag. So the trivia question is, Name the 4 U.S. state capital cities that end with the word city. Now we're going by the honor system here. I know everybody has Google up, so let's be honorable in this situation. The first person to get these 4 correct will be the proud winner of our trivia prize. And Charles, I thought that was an appropriate conversation for you, in the many hats that you wear, and especially as state representative. And so, Charles, before we part ways here, I want to offer the opportunity. Where can people go to learn more about Hood to the Holler and to follow your important work in Kentucky?
Absolutely. Well, to connect to the work that we're doing with Hood to the Holler, help us register Kentuckians and build a wave of new leadership, you can go to hoodtotheholler.org. You can volunteer your time, your energy, help spread the word. Anything that you can do will make a difference. And man, I just want to applaud you all at Canopy for your leadership. I want to stay connected with you as well. Hope you all hit your goal and blast through it today. And when folks are done contributing to you all in that work, they can follow me on social media too, and all the things I'm doing. Hood to the Holler is all my social media handles, and then Booker 4KY on all my social media as well. So let's stay connected.
Will do. And Charles, thank you so much for stopping by the cafe today. Or not the cafe. I'm putting on my Canopy Cafe hat. Thanks for stopping by the Festival of Good Business today. Charles Booker, state representative in the 43rd district and founder of Hood to the Holler. Charles, thank you so much for your leadership in many ways and for stopping by this morning. And we'll be in touch soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ben.
Okay. All right, everyone. That was Charles Booker. We're so proud to kick off the Festival of Good Business with a leader of his caliber. And before we part ways with this set of our festival, I want to be clear in how you can get involved and support Canopy today. So the first of which, there is a QR code on screen. You can use this to go to Canopy's profile on Give for Good Louisville and make a donation and help us reach our $10,000 goal. Any dollar amount helps. Please consider making a gift to support Canopy. Also, you can visit Galaxy and Biscuit Belly in Nulu today. They're donating 10% of their sales throughout the day. So if you're in the mood for some biscuits, some Wakatakas, margaritas, whatever you're in the mood for, stop by our friends in Nulu and help support Canopy as well. And then lastly, stay tuned throughout the day. We're going to be featuring more and more leaders in the good business movement. Next up, we will have Teddy Abrams joining us in just about 6 minutes. So stay tuned, and thank you for taking part in the Festival of Good Business.